and I would not allow it in my church. I'll just say that because it was not King James. And some of you might laugh at that, but that's what I cut my teeth on. And then they came out with this flowery language and all this stuff. And the other day I was sitting there doing some study and I opened it up and I started to read and I go, why don't I read this more? It's not because I'm all King James. If you were to come in my house, I have Bibles strewn from one end to the other some days. But this language is a more contemporary language. And I don't think there's any version, if you will, that correctly examines all the scriptures right all the time. But I want to share this. This is from Matthew 21. And I'm going to read a little bit more just to give you a context for it. Some people don't really know what Palm Sunday is. So before that, they were drinking, they were up in the upper room and they were drinking from the cup and things. And that's where our communion comes from, or the table. But it says in Matthew 21, it says, when they neared Jerusalem, having arrived at Bethphage on Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two disciples with these instructions. Go over to the village across from you. You'll find a donkey tethered there, her colt with her. Untie her and bring them to me. And if anyone asks what you're doing, the master needs them. I don't know about you, but if you walked up to somebody's house and went to take the animal out of their off their property, and you just said, "Hey, master wants them," I'm not thinking they would just go have at it. Okay, when we lived up on the mountain over in Vermont, we had animals in our yard, and we freaked out if one of the donkeys got out. I'll just tell you that. They would take off, and you wouldn't see them for quite a few days sometimes. But it continues on. It says, tell Zion's daughter, look, your king's on his way, poised and ready, mounted on a donkey on a colt, full of a pack animal. And the disciples went and did exactly what Jesus told them to do. They led the donkey and the colt out, laid some of their clothes on them, and Jesus mounted.